Whatsoever is our level of practice, everything is just reigned without the grammar touches to it. So let's have a session on the grammar now, and we discuss here the modal verbs, main modal verbs, the semi-modal verbs. When you speak of the verbs, the main action verbs are different, auxiliary verbs are different, and these are the modal verbs like can, could, may, might. So what are all these and how to use them is the session of today. So it is starting with the main modal verbs, the most important ones, then also with the semi-modal verbs because there is a little confusion. The semi-modal verbs are the two words. So again there is a confusion like what is the main modal verb and what is this semi-modal verb. So we will have a clear identification of these two categories. Then we shall master the 7 most important ones we will be using thoroughly. We will understand their usage in the speaking module and also its usage in the writing essay modules. We will have a clear distinguished usage of those 7 or 10 important modal verbs in different ways, in very different ways. For example, let's begin. The modal verbs, the main modal verbs. So the first one is can. When we use this word to show the ability, to show the possibility, and also to ask for permission. For example, I can swim. So that is my ability, that is my talent. I can do this. I can swim. I am picking up the most simple examples so that the real context is clearly remembered by us, and when the context is understood, the usage becomes professional. So the simple sentences, I can swim. The next one, possibility. It can rain later. It is about to rain or it will rain after some time. So the clear sentences, it can rain later. Next, the following modal verb is could. Could speaks about the past ability. Past ability. Ho sakta tha. It could have been. So it speaks about the past ability. It is a polite request also, and it is also the possibility. That is the reason whenever you're writing the essays, the best word instead of can should be the word could. So now you have understood, because it speaks about the possibility, we use the word, the modal verb could. So seeing it in the sentence, when I was a child, I could run fast. So what is this? This is the past ability. Why? Because was is speaking about the past tense, and the same tense should be carried forward. So it is when I was a child, I could run fast. The next sentence where you are giving a suggestion, you could try again. It can be it, you can try again. But the better one is you could try again because you are making a polite request. Revise the examples along with me, master the simple usages, and thereby the professionalism flows. Right. The third modal verb is may. May speaks about the permission and the possibility again. So, example, you may leave early. That is the permission. Similarly, it may snow tonight. It may snow tonight. So there is a possibility of snowing. The following verb is might. Might. Might again speaks about the possibility, but less certain than may. So may is a stronger word and might is a lesser stronger word. So what comes first? First is may. Following might. We might go to the park. That is, there is a possibility, but the possibility is not very accurate. Okay. The following fifth word is shall. Shall speaks about the pure intention. Pure intention. Formal usage it is, and it is also used for offering or giving suggestions. So I shall return by evening. So this is the small offer you have made, a pure intention that you are surely returning by evening. Similarly, if you have something to offer, that is to ask, then you say, shall we dance? Shall we dance? Okay. The sixth one is should. Should is used for advice, duty, and expected result. there is a possibility of the result, then you use the word should. You should eat healthy food. So that is the advice you give to the next person. The following word is will. Will speaks about the future, certain future, the future which is confirmed. Then it is the willingness and the promises. Willingness and the promises. I will call you tomorrow. So there is a certainty. You will call him tomorrow. The following word is would. Would speaks about the polite requests again. Would is also an hypothetical situation. Hypothetical situations are imaginary situations and also speaks about the past habits. I would like a cup of tea. So it's a polite request. I would like, that is, I want to have a cup of tea. Or you say simple words, I want a cup of tea. So it is, I would like a cup of tea. It is a very polite request. Then, if you are speaking about any imaginary situation, so you say, if I were you. It is not if I am you or I was you. Because it is a hypothetical situation, the helping verb is always were. So the sentence is, if I were you, I would apologize. I would apologize. Past tense again, hypothetical situation. Must is the next word. Must speaks about the necessity, something which is important, required. It also comes for strong obligation. Obligation is a demand, sure requirement. So, a strong obligation and certainty. The example sentences, you must wear a helmet. So, that is a necessity. You must wear a helmet. The 10th one now is ought to. My favorite one, ought to. Ought to is the moral duty to speak about the best choice, and it is similar to should. It is almost similar to should. So you can just interchange the words. So we ought to help the poor. So that is our moral obligation. It is not the strong obligation, it is our moral compulsion. So the sentence is, we ought to help the poor. Right. Now we move on to the semi-models. What are these? These are two or more words. Two or more words. And what is the general mistake? You forget to write the following word after the modal verb. For example, it is have to. It is not only have. It is have to. What is have to? Have to is necessity. Have to is obligation. So it is, I have to finish my homework. So something like, I ought to finish my homework. Ought to, have to, moral obligations. Need to. Need to is the necessity. I need to rest. It is the requirement now. It is important now. Be able to. The be forms can be is, am, are, was and were. So that speaks about the ability. She is able to solve it. She is able to solve it. That means she has the ability to solve it. Be going to. It is speaking about the future intention. It is not the be word here, it is the be forms. So it is, I am going to visit Delhi. Used to generally comes for past habits and children overly use this. So a lot of mistakes are done with this word used to. Used to is the past habit. I used to play cricket every day. Had better. Had better. Two different, complete different words. It speaks about the strong advice. You had better see a doctor. You had better see a doctor. It is not to see a doctor again. Now, be supposed to, the three words now. Remember, be forms and the word is supposed to. What is this used for? It is an expectation or the rule. We are supposed to submit by Monday. We are supposed to submit by Monday. The good thing again is, pause the session, work on the words, make your own sentences and keep posting them. Okay, now the continuation part is, let's master some of the most important words. In what way? Understand the usage one more time, study with an example, and really understand that why we are using this particular word only, not the other modal verbs. Right. So here the word says should. What is it usage for? For advice, suggestion, or the right thing to do. When something is very right, very correct, we use the word should. For example, schools should create opportunities for students to showcase their talents. Simple and clear sentence. Schools should create opportunities for students to showcase their talents. Why we are using this? Because our intention is we are advising the schools to do the right action, to follow the right action. That was our intention. So is the intention, as is the sentence. Right. Now the second word, which is can. Can speaks about the ability or the possibility. Healthy competition can inspire them to work harder. There is a possibility that they will be inspired to work harder when there is an healthy competition. Why we are using the word can? Because we are suggesting that the competition has the ability to motivate the children. That was our intention. Okay. The third one, which is might. Might is used to show a possibility less certain than can. It might also prepare them for the challenges of adult life. Why I am using this sentence? Because my intention is I want to show that the competition could possibly prepare them, but it's not 100% certain. The following helping verb is will. Shows certainty about the future. They will face situations that demand individual excellence. They will face situations. So they are going to encounter these situations. When? In the future. Is it certain? Absolutely. It is very much certain. Why am I using this? Because I want to refer that something is sure to happen in the future. Right. Next. The word is could. Could shows possibility or a less direct suggestion. Children could become complacent without competition. Children could become. So there is a possibility. This is less than a direct suggestion. Indicates a possible negative result. Indicates a possible negative result that without competition, children might become little lazy. Next word is must. Shows necessity or strong obligation. Teamwork must be taught from an early age. Teamwork must be taught from an early age. Like it is emphasizing that teamwork is essential and it should not be ignored. Hope the usages are clearly explaining you. Understand the sentences properly. The next word is ought to. Ought to. It is similar to should but slightly stronger. Shows moral duty or the best choice. For example, schools ought to strike a balance between both approaches. Don't forget the preposition to after the word ought. Suggest the best course of action for schools to follow. So what are the important modal verbs? It is should, can, may, ought to, must, and could. Very simple to use to write. Now, let's understand this in a sample answer of for speaking. So it is, do you think schools should give more importance to creativity? Yes, definitely. I think schools should encourage creativity along with academics because it helps students express themselves. Rote learning, that is mugging up. Rote learning can be boring, and creative activities might make learning more interesting. Hope you are understanding the real usage of all these highlighted modal verbs. Teachers could possibility. Teachers could use project-based learning or storytelling to help students think out of the box. In the future, creative skills will be in high demand, so students must be prepared for a changing world. Perfect answer. What you have to remember, you have not used the present continuous tense. You have not used the simple helping verbs which are is, am, are, was, and were. Right. Let's go through an essay also, important for all the competitive exams, including IELTS and PTE. So, what is the question like? Some people think that children should be taught to be competitive, while others believe teamwork is more important. Discuss both the views. Some believe that children should be encouraged to, should be. See the modal verb again, semi modal verb. Should be encouraged to compete as it can improve their performance and motivation. In exams, sports, and even creative activities, healthy competitions can, a possibility, inspire them to work harder and aim higher. In this session, I am focusing only on the modal verbs. The better your modal verbs, the better your score. Very simple, clear cut tip. Right. It might also prepare them for the challenges of adult life when they will face situations that demand individual excellence. Supporters of this view argue that without competitions, children could become complacent and lack the drive to improve. They also think schools should create opportunities for students to showcase their talents and be rewarded for their efforts. If you're not understanding the flow, then go back to the session, write the meaning of every modal verb, and as and when it is occurring in the sentence, please understand the meaning you have written. Right. The second paragraph. On the other hand, many people feel that teamwork must be taught from an early age to prepare children for real world situations. In most careers, success depends on the ability to collaborate with others, share ideas, and solve problems collectively. Team activities could help children develop essential communication and cooperation skills. By learning to respect different opinions and compromise, they will be better equipped to handle conflicts and build strong relationships. Supporters of this approach also believe that teamwork should be valued over competition because it reduces stress and promotes harmony. The final line, which is the conclusion. In my opinion, schools ought to strike a balance between both approaches. Students should be given chances to compete as it fosters ambition, but they must also learn teamwork to function effectively in society. A well rounded education will ensure they grow into confident, cooperative, and capable individuals. That was the full essay written only on usage with modal verbs. Now let's see it in the speaking part very clearly one more time. Can speaks about the ability. So the sentences, I can manage my time well, so I finish tasks before the deadline. When you take up your speaking module first part, so this is the personal ability. I can manage my time well. It is not I manage my time well. I can manage my time well. The moment you take a pause and you just ponder over these small words, you will immediately understand what sort of silly errors you have been doing so far and how impactful this task will be from now onwards. Right. The second word speaks about could. Could is polite. Could is past ability and could is possibility. Why we use them? It makes the speech polite and less direct. Our tone should not be harsh. We need to be very polite. We need to be sublimed. So it is the less direct tone and also good for past abilities. So the sentence is, when I was a child, I could spend hours reading storybooks. Instead of this, we were speaking like I used to spend hours reading books. I used to. It is not used to. I could. When you're speaking about your past, maybe in the cue cards. Now the next word, which is may. May is for permission and possibility. What is it doing? It adds formality and expresses your chance very politely. So the new policy may help reduce pollution in cities. What is it doing? May help. So there is a possibility and in a very polite way. The following word is might. Might, might speaks about the weaker possibilities, which is good for giving ideas that are not certain, you are not sure. So it is if public use people use public transport more, traffic problems might decrease. It is a good idea, but I am not pretty sure of this idea. Right. You can still use it. So don't hesitate in using the words. Next is shall, which is used for formal offers or suggestions. Rare in casual speech when you are speaking generally in your day to day conversations. This word is very rare because it sounds more formal in academic settings only. So, whenever you are in an academic environment, for example, speaking to your tutor, then you can speak about this. Shall we discuss the environmental benefits first? Right. The sixth one now, should speaks about the advice or recommendation, which is perfect for giving suggestions. And when are we giving suggestions? In the speaking module, obviously in the part 3. So it is government should invest more in renewable energy sources. So what the good student should do, the moment they are writing their or they are preparing for the part 3, they should immediately remember that the usage of the word should be there. Okay. The next word is will. Will speaks about certainty and the future plans. Helps talk about the future confidently. For example, I will definitely continue learning new skills after graduation. Next is would. Would speaks about the hypothetical situations. You want something to be like that, but it is not that. And sometimes, if you want to speak about being polite, it is why. Why we use this? Useful for if situations or for polite answers. Useful for if situations and polite answers. For example, if I had more free time, I would travel around the world. If I had more free time, I would travel around the world. There are many if conditional sentences, children, so don't go wrong with the usage or the writing part of it. Here we have the word had, and here it should be the word would. You cannot miss any of the verbs here. Okay. The next is the word must. Must speaks about the necessity or the strong obligation. So it is, we must protect endangered species before it's too late. Now, whenever you're giving the solutions in problems and solutions paragraph, so you can use the word must. The last one is ought to. Ought to speaks about the moral duty or the best chance. Why? It is softer than must and shows our responsibility. People ought to respect cultural differences when traveling. Okay, so fine. We are about to close the session. Fine. What do I need to say at the end? Be confident from here on. Grammar is just under your control. Like I always smile, ha ha ha, and always love you and happy learning.